to the pop culture cosmos.
And we're back with another episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Pop Culture Cosmos. Lakers Fast Break and Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Hopefully you will go ahead and stay a little while. Truly appreciate you doing so. Please like and subscribe to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air. If you're on YouTube and if you're on or listening to audio of this, please give us that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, and also as well for those great radio stations. Thank you so much for playing us, and for those listening on those radio stations, thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. But it wouldn't be a Pop Culture Cosmos without my good friend. He is the mastermind behind Humanica Media, the Happy Hoarder, and more. So go ahead and check out what he's doing today in the world of esports, the world of collectibles, and the world of video. It is my good friend. It is Josh the Great Peterson, the Plucky Gamer, man. What's up, man?
Not much, man. How you doing? We actually just started esports last week, and this is like a new location that we're in. So, naturally the internet decided to say like, hey, let me hit you with some bandwidth problems. So we just spent last week trying to iron out those kinks, man, and it was we eventually got everything working the way it was, but those opening days are stressful, man.
I bet indeed. But there's still optimism for you guys as well. You seem to be excited leading into it. You seem to be very excited about leading your team and giving these kids and young people a chance to go ahead and develop in the world of esports.
Yeah. It's definitely, esports is a lot bigger than it once was. Like, this is what convinces a lot of parents to let their kids sign up, is the fact that, like, hey, you can go to college on an esports scholarship. You actually, like, back in the day, they're like, oh, you'll never do anything playing video games, but now you can do a lot of things playing video games.
Yes, you can indeed. Absolutely. So go ahead to the Plucky Gamer. Go ahead to the Happy Hoarder. All these great things that Josh is doing. And want to thank him again for doing this so many years. I got a chance to go ahead and solidify that we've got a 500th episode celebration that we're going to go ahead and do coming up here in the not too distant future in March. So looking forward to when we hit 500 episodes, 500 weeks straight of the Pop Culture Cosmos. I'm looking forward to it, making sure we get there. Spoke to Douglas and Nicole of Retro City Games and Antonio. So happy for them. They're all in a good place as they hit 11 years old. Last Saturday, they had a celebration. And they announced recently that they're going to have, it's almost a dream come true. They're going to go ahead and they have a shop, their fourth location on the Las Vegas Strip. They'll actually be the only video game that's actually on the vaunted Las Vegas Strip. GameStop is gone. Retro City Games is in. It'll be in the Caesars Palace shops. I think it's coming around in the near future, very near future. We'll announce it here exactly when they come up. But I'm so happy for Doug. It's going to be a smaller location with dealing with specialty items, curated and almost like an art gallery type feel. It's going to be something a little bit higher end for collectors. So it'll be interesting to see what they'll have in place right there at Retro City Games at Caesars.
Doug must be a really busy guy, because that's and good for him. Good for him. I remember, back when he only had one shop, and he was they had a lot of stuff in there. So I'm happy to see the success for Retro City Games.
Absolutely. And Antonio told me he is going to be running around between all 4 stores, and yeah, absolutely good. Just looking forward to seeing the success again grow even more with Retro City Games. Absolutely cannot say enough great things about it. And again, if you are in the Las Vegas area and you need some type of collectibles in your life, or want to go ahead and trade in those old games or buy some of those old retro games, go ahead and check out the best Retro City games. And with that, it is, of course, the Pop Culture Cosmos. Josh, interesting weekend. We'll start off with the box office. I don't know what to make of it. Warner Brothers is trying to put the good foot forward, but Leonardo DiCaprio's latest film, Paul Thomas Anderson, from Boogie Nights and many other great films, One Battle After Another debuted at the box office this weekend. $48.5 million worldwide, $22 million domestically. If we were talking about almost any other movie, Josh, and it did those numbers off of estimated $120 million budget. Sean Penn's in this movie too, just Regina King. I mean, it's a loaded cast. I think it would be considered a failure, a disaster, a bomb, or at least the way it starts off with. But I don't want to call it that much too soon because of the fact that it's garnered the highest ratings of any movie this year. Currently holds a 95 on Metacritic, one of the highest rated movies of this decade. And people that see it are praising it. It's got an A cinema score. So it might have some legs continuously throughout the winter or be kicked back in regards to award season and all that. Your thoughts on One Battle After Another from Paul Thomas Anderson? It's a movie that when you see it, it has really been talked about as far as how great it truly is. But is it a failure to start off with, or a disappointment, or something along the lines of, is it a slight success or somewhere in the middle?
It's hard to gauge on something like this because, I've seen a few trailers for it, but I have not seen a lot of advertising for it outside of the theaters, like not even online. You don't see a lot of banners for it. So I feel like this is one of those ones where people won't know that they need to go watch it until, like you said, it hits award season. Like, oh, what's this movie? And people go and check it out. So it looks cool. I mean, I sat there and watched the trailers, and it seems like a good time in our society, I guess, to put something like this out. As for anyone familiar with the content or the storyline of this movie. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do we look at the standards for a successful movie and change them now? Because like Sinners was the same story, right? Because not movie same story, but the same thing happened.
Well, Sinners started out a lot stronger as far as, I mean, that I think that started out 50 million, but I don't think it had the same kind of, it had a little bit smaller budget, but it had legs. It had continued to have legs, which I hear you, what you're talking about there.
Yeah, but yeah, like we're not seeing movies, like we're not gauging the success of movies by how many hundreds of millions it makes anymore. Like it seems like we're looking at movies, the quality of movies now based on like what everybody thinks of them instead of how much money they're making, which is, I mean, I guess that I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like it's more like up to the critics, I guess, now to decide whether or not a movie is successful, because we're still post COVID here. The only movies that seem to be blown up in the box office are the franchises that we've talked about before.
Yeah, very few movies seemingly these days do actually get a good return on their investment at the box office. Sinners, just to let you know, did start off at least 2 times higher than One Battle After Another. It started out at 48 million for Sinners here in the United States, and it actually, as you know, had the kind of legs that very few movies had this year. I think that for it to be a success in the theaters, One Battle After Another has to have that same kind of success and has to have those same kind of holds, which will be interesting to see over the next month if it will do just that. But yes, again, I think that at some point in time it will find an audience, but I think this is going to be a classic case where until it reaches, I believe, since it's a Warner Brothers movie, HBO Max. I think that it's probably going to be something where, you know what, it probably will never get its justification, even when it's brought back out for the traditional bump up in theaters later this year for the award season. I'm not sure if it'll ever find the audience in the theaters, but I know it will find the audience once it gets to streaming. And then maybe when it hits Netflix, it will finally find the audience it deserves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying is that people aren't going to the movies to watch things like this. Like they're watching them at home. And, like the point I was making with Sinners is the fact that nobody really knew anything about it or what it was until after people had started talking about it, until after it had hit, the HBO. So it's or HBO Max. So, and I think that that's what this movie is also, because I mean, most people go like, oh, Conjuring, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World, like all these franchise movies. Yeah, they go to the movies to check them out, but there's not a lot of people going to view these like smaller films or even know what they are until, people start talking about them.
Well, we'll have to wait and see exactly if One Battle After Another, again, will reap any kind of success at the theatrical box office. Again, it's probably something right now that is going to have legs in order to really see back its budget on a theatrical basis, but we'll have to wait and see. I know it will get, like I said, a bump up close to the end of the year, right around Christmas or during award season, maybe in January, where it will get a bump up in theaters to be brought back around. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, it has got one of the biggest critic ratings of the year for a movie at 95 right now on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. And I believe it's another 95% there. It is actually, again, considered one of Leonardo's best performances and one of the best movies from Paul Thomas Anderson. Again, Boogie Nights, and there's so many other movies that Paul Thomas Anderson has made. So yeah, it just seems interesting. It seems interesting that it did not get the kind of love that I think that even Licorice Pizza, There Will Be Blood, those movies initially got, I think, a little bit better reception at the theaters, but then again, they didn't have the kind of costs involved that this movie had, so there was a less of a threshold to any kind of success for those movies. But yeah, absolutely looking forward to seeing if this movie will be one of the well thought of ones compared to what Magnolia and other movies that Paul Thomas Anderson has made.
But again, though, like, look at this. Have you seen any advertising for this movie outside of trailers when you went to go see other movies?
It's just been all YouTube, to be quite honest with you. I've not seen anything on the NFL, which is usually the key indicator for a movie to be released as far as the commercials are concerned. One of the high probability for studios to release movies on as far as the commercials are concerned. So no, I didn't see it in general television either as well.
Yeah, I didn't even know that this movie was out yet. Like I was like, I knew that it was coming out. I didn't know it was released this weekend until we just started talking about it. So it definitely there's marketing issues happening, and I think this is happening with a lot of movies, to be honest with you.
So what are your thoughts out there, guys, on the movies right now? What's going on? Oh, and like you said, you mentioned before we went on the air, Demon Slayer, the success that it is, the worldwide success that it is, the highest grossing anime film of all time, the highest grossing anime film in the US. I don't know. Would you categorize Ninja 2 as an anime or no?
No, I mean, I would. I think that more classifies as like a kids movie, like a kids animation movie, kind of like not kind of like Pixar, but like a DreamWorks movie. That's where I would kind of classify it. But because anime has a very specific art style and writing style and all that. But it is super impressive, and I actually am really curious now, like, are we going to see a lot of studios try to scoop into some of these major anime properties and try to get the rights to them? Because I know Crunchyroll is owned by Sony, right?
Yes.
And so Sony already owns, seems like they have a ton of these animes under their belt. So I'm wondering if we're going to see studios like Universal or Warner Brothers even try to convert some of their properties to anime themselves, or if they're going to try to scoop up new animes before Crunchyroll gets them, because there seems to be a market here that people didn't know about.
Well, if you had on your dance card that it would gross more worldwide than Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning and Superman, which is about ready to pass, then you got a good one on you right there, because it is about ready to pass both those films. And that's just an incredible feat for, again, one of the most successful anime movies of all time. And this evolves back to a conversation we would have like in last decade, where you were much more into anime, and my comment was, well, I watched Akira, I can't appreciate anime ever, in and of its kind, after watching Akira, because Akira is the standard by which all other anime should be viewed. And my response now to my younger self then is, give it a chance, open yourself up, and you never know what there's going to be. And I have, and embraced it, and I've really enjoyed the anime that I've seen on both, from a Crunchyroll standpoint, a Sony standpoint, and Netflix as well, which have really developed the anime popularity. Yeah, it's just been incredible to see. And I think the true test of anime will be what the first week results are for Lawnmower Man next month here, when it hits the States late next month. I think that's what I think a true test of where anime is.
I'm talking about Chainsaw Man.
Yes, Chainsaw Man. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's weird because okay, let me two things here. One, do you think that we're gonna see this movie reach 640 million?
I think so, yes, because it's a success worldwide will help propel it to be. I mean, it's slowing down here. I mean, it had the typical 70% drop offs week in and week out since its first week, which that's typical anime. But I will say that worldwide it is still garnering that influence. In fact, it dropped almost 72% again this week, but it still was number 5 in the box office. I have a feeling that its time here in the States is almost up, but it might earn another 10 million, 12 million here, maybe 15 here. But then again, around the world and even in Japan, it's still revered. I think it will find that audience and still get to 640. I think. Why is that?
Well, because I was just thinking to myself, like, how crazy would it be if an anime film landed in the top 5 highest grossing films of the year?
That's good. That's a good point. Absolutely. So, if it,
I
it
don't.
reaches,
I mean, what? Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was
I
going
was
to
going to
say
say,
640. Yeah.
yeah, and I was going to say too, like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else coming out between now and the end of the year that is really has legs on it. I mean,
Well,
because I honestly.
I think that little Avatar movie will, if you will let him
Oh,
go.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. And because I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know how successful Tron's gonna be, because like nobody
Oh,
really
and
that's
Disney put it in October, so that's not the best. Yeah, I hear
it's
you.
just one of those franchises though that, like, I like it, but it's not, there's a difference between what I like and what a kid in high school or in their low 20s is gonna enjoy.
It does well enough to get a sequel, now 2 sequels, but look at when they were made. How long did it take for a sequel to Tron, and how long did it take a sequel to Tron Legacy? And I think that answers your question right there.
Yeah, well, you
Uh,
even have they interviewed the guy who was directing the movie, and they're like, "Hey, what happened to Olivia Wilde and Garrett Hedlund and Cillian Murphy?" And he just straight up said, "Well, sometimes you have actors who just don't want to be in movies anymore." And like I mean, that what does that say about it?
Yep, there you go. Absolutely. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens at the box office. So if you have thoughts, on the success of Demon Slayer, on the success of Tron, which again, I've got my fingers crossed on Tron, that it will be good and that it will be well received. Finally, in the theaters, which would be a long time coming. But if you have thoughts on what's going on with the box office, and also as well, one battle after another, the critically acclaimed movie, which started out, I think, a little soft. I'll just say a little soft. How about that? I think that's the nicest way to say it for a movie that costs as much. But then again, I do not give that movie up, because the fact that I think this movie is so well made that it will probably find legs at some point, and it will find its audience at some point, whether it's on in the theaters or on streaming. But what are your thoughts out there on what's going on with the movies? Please let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Well, almost to the half-hour break, my friend. But before we hit that, I wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts. Xbox last week, they raised those dang prices again. I need to get you the stats of what they moved it up to. But initially, when you heard, or when I texted you that, well, actually, I also texted you another thing about Xbox prices with the handheld as well. What were your thoughts, my friend, when you heard Xbox is raising the price of their consoles again here in about 3 or 4 days from when we're recording?
Okay, so this was kind of out of left field, because they're saying it was a movement. So it's at like 650 now for a Series X, and it's over 500 now for the Series S, right? Like that. That's
let me put it to you this way. My Xbox Series S, which is the entry level, that's now, I bought that at $225.
okay.
It is now $400, or will be $400 on the 3rd.
And there's 2 different versions of that. So I imagine you like, because I bought one from Sam's Club, then I'm sure you have the same one I do, the 512 gigabyte version.
Yes. The 1 terabyte is even more.
The one, yeah, and because I think that was the one that was like 550 now. And I mean, I have to say, I don't understand the price, the newer price hike.
Well, let me go ahead over these are numbers for US only. I just want to make that sure and clarify. Around the world, whoever's listening to us, I don't believe that they are affected by this current price hike. But the Xbox Series S, which again, I bought new for $225, is now going up by the end of this week to $400. It's moving up $20 from $379.99. The 1 terabyte is moving from $429 to $449.99. The Xbox Series X digital, which doesn't have the Blu-ray, that goes up $50 from $549 to $590, basically $600 right there. The Xbox Series X behind me, Josh, that I have a Diablo one. I had a special Diablo version, which came with Diablo 4 at that time. I got it on sale at Walmart for $350. It is now going to be worth $650. That's crazy.
Criminal.
That's the one with the Blu-ray player. And then the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte version, the Galaxy Black version, that's $800. They just don't want to sell Xboxes anymore. Yeah.
No, and we're being priced out of having an Xbox. But here's the thing that really bothers me. Okay, one, they're talking about the Xbox. IGN leaked possible specs for what they're calling the Xbox 720, right, which is supposed to be announced at some point. They're predicting next year, but they're saying it's supposed to be like the most powerful console on the market. It's going to have like 5 times the processing power of the Series X. I think I might be misquoting that, but if the Xbox Series X is costing this much money, what is this thing going to cost?
That's true.
Like, are we going to have we officially reached the days where a new console is going to be over $1,000? But also, Target, you go to Target, Walmart, what do they all share in common? It's the fact that the Xbox section is like nothing now. There's nothing in there. It's like you have a few big titles in there, but for the most part, they're condensing it to almost the point where it's going to disappear. So at that point, everything's going to be digital anyway. So why not just go spend $250 and buy yourself an LG television that has the Xbox app on it.
And Costco recently announced that is no longer carrying Xboxes in what they entitled a business decision, aka it didn't sell.
Sam's Club
And with the price, yeah, Sam's Club too. There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Just say it didn't sell. Just say it didn't sell. There you go. But
Well, nobody wants it anymore because one, there's no physical games. The Xbox cloud gaming system sucks. Like, it is probably the worst thing that's ever happened. Like, I think it performs worse than the Stadia did. So I mean, if they're hinging their entire future on hardware-less games and being able to play off the cloud, they've got a lot of work to do, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, they're about to make themselves go extinct because one, PlayStation still relies on physical media. Everything installs faster on PlayStation. Their playing over the cloud system works a lot better. So I mean, what at this point, what does Xbox have to offer any of us that will make us continue to give them money?
well, I mean, as far as the cloud gaming is concerned, you're right. In selected areas, it is still not up to par. I know it's good for me here, and I use it quite frequently. But I know for the most part, there's been a lot of complaints regarding it until they get that settled. So you're right with the way that they want to be, where everything is an Xbox, or everywhere is an Xbox, and all that. Their slogan that they've been trying to do. I just think, again, the positives that we tried to give out, how we were scolding people for not getting Xboxes because it was the best and most affordable gaming platform, that's gone in the trash. That's gone. That we just have nothing. We can't argue with people anymore about Xbox because now it's just the entry level. The price of entry point is just so expensive.
But what is happening to Xbox? Like, this is infuriating. Why is this happening? Do they hate money? It really comes down to this ecosystem that was affordable and it worked for people. It just, everything that was working, they're just taking in their life, be like, no, we're gonna mess this up as much as we can. And I don't understand Xbox anymore. I really don't. And that's concerning to me, because like, we're gonna reach a point where, much like Sega got themselves out of the console races, we're going to see it's going to come down to just PlayStation and Nintendo here, because Xbox is quickly causing themselves to go extinct.
And but on top of that, for them as well, they recently announced the prices of their handhelds for the Rogue Ally, which is coming out in the not too distant future as well. I popped it on you, and you said you were, these consoles were reaching $1,000. Well, just wanted to let you know, Josh, that actually the Rogue Ally X by Xbox was announced at $999.99 for the high end version. I think the low end version was $600. But I'll check that to make sure. Your thoughts on the Rogue Ally X prices? I was really keen on this one. I thought, okay, at $600 or $700, just a little bit more expensive than a Steam Deck. I'm all in on this. I'm all out now because of just the price. I will not spend that much on a system like this.
Okay, let me throw something your way here.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is 1,000. It is 1,000 for the X and 600 for the entry level Xbox Ally.
And we already have listings being sold on eBay for $1,600. Like, even if you wanted to buy this right on release date, you couldn't, because we're living in this world where nobody's doing anything about scalpers, and nobody's going to be able to get this thing at cost. I mean,
because Microsoft Store sold out the first day.
Yeah, and it's all bots. So it's all bots. I don't think it would surprise the hell out of me if even one human being who wanted the console got one. You see, Microsoft is kings of technology, right? This big tech company can't even stop bots from picking up their products.
It's absolutely crazy. But again, the Xbox Rogue Ally X went on pre-order at most major outlets, including Best Buy, and etc. And you want to go ahead and get that. I believe they may still be available. I'll check on Amazon right now, but yeah, just right now, $1,000 for the high end. Really, the one that I was targeting as far as the Xbox Rogue Ally X. If you're interested in that, please let us know. Please let us know why you're getting it and why you're spending that kind of money on it. Please let us know. Popculturecosmos at yahoo.com. It really would be interesting to see why you'd be spending $1,000 on this, and do you think it'll be worth your money? So we just wanted to go ahead and give that a shout out right now. But yes, the Xbox Rogue Ally, it'll be 600, and the Rogue Ally X 1,000. So 1/2 hour down, 1/2 hour to go here on the Pop Culture Cosmos. It is Josh the Great Peterson along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. We truly appreciate you joining us. Josh, this week is an interesting week for PlayStation. They come off of the Tokyo Game Show, and we'll get some thoughts if you caught anything as far as the Kojima Fest or anything else at Tokyo Game Show that you wanted to go ahead and talk about, Forza Horizon 6 or anything like that here in a minute. But Ghosts of Yotei is coming out this week, which is the major Sony branded release here. I wanted to ask your thoughts on it when it comes to what Sony's expectations are on with this. It's so far the Metacritic rating on Ghost of Yotei is pretty good, 87. So it's a really good game. Your thoughts on it, my friend? Again, the PlayStation platform, it's still they're saying it's the most successful generation ever, meaning they've sold more dollars than the PlayStation 4 at this point in time. The units are still lagging behind the PlayStation 4, but the dollars has translated to more. Your thoughts on Ghost of Yotei? They really haven't needed to go ahead and PlayStation put out too many games this year, and they're still successful by doing it.
Yeah. So I was talking to Brian Wegner about about this the other day. Like Ghost of Yotei, like I don't know what to think of this game yet, because like, one, it's been highly politicized, and I can't tell if these the people reviewing the games are like, oh, we're gonna give 9s and 10s to show all the people that were making a political stink about it, or if the game is actually good. So I'm I'm really debating, like, do I want to play this? Like, is it actually good, or is this just these publications making a political statement? So luckily, Brank's brother-in-law has the game, and he's doing PlayStation sharing. So I'm waiting for Branky Poo to tell me if the game is good or not before I go out and buy it. But I don't know. I mean, I liked Ghost of Tsushima a lot, and everyone's saying that it's basically what Ghost of Tsushima was, but with more stuff to do. And so that alone was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess I could sit there and play this game. Like, I don't have any reason not to play it. I'm currently playing Silent Hill F, so probably as soon as I'm done with this one, if Branky Poo gives me the hey, it's good, man, I'll probably go out and pick it up. But like I said, I really liked the first one. So this, I mean, I guess as long as they are doing the same things, like, they can't really go wrong here.
I just wanted to give you an update on the Xbox Rogue Ally. Amazon has only carries the Asus, or the only case is the lower end model on Amazon right now, and it's out of stock, so you can't even get that one either.
Okay,
Can't wait to see the prices on that.
You can, it does, but here's the thing that baffles me, is that, like, the only difference with this one is it has the Xbox shaped handles on it. Like, you can get the Rogue Ally, because I bought one, does the same exact thing. Like, yeah, you run your Game Pass, you run your Epic Store, your Steam, or whatever. It's literally the same exact thing. So
well, it modifies the Xbox app, and so it runs less power in Windows to provide more on the Xbox front. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you really want to have that handheld Xbox experience, like, you can buy the Rogue Ally and still be able to do, more or less the same thing that the Xbox One does. I will say, though, the Xbox One is cool based on, like, the handles and how it feels like an Xbox controller.
I wanted to go ahead and buy the Xbox X, Rogue Ally X, and use it for a lot of different things, and still be able to go ahead and, like, for instance, if I'm on the road and we need to do a Cosmos, be able to go ahead and still utilize it for that. But yeah, 1,000, I can't. That's just
It's
obscene.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
money, man. I mean, at that point, like, why don't you just go out and buy a gaming PC?
Yeah, that's just obscene. That's what I did roughly. I think that's how much my gaming PC was purchased for, just a little bit more, and
Yeah.
it's much more powerful. But need I digress on that? But Ghosts of Yotei again. I think a lot of PlayStation fans are looking forward to this. I know that I've received a lot of messages already in regards to their hopes with Ghosts of Yotei, and again, it's been viewed of very well. It's probably going to be one of the best games of the year, so that's pretty good out there for PlayStation fans. But again, the arrogance of Sony. It only has brought out what, 3 games, 4 games, and one of them was Days Gone remastered. It
That's
doesn't really have to do much, and it's still, like PlayStation announced during the Tokyo Game Show, this generation, dollars wise, has been more successful than any other one.
Yeah, well, so Sony they put out really good games. I mean, most of them are story-driven games, and a lot of them they are good. So like you buy them and you are getting your money's worth out of them. You know, whereas like with Xbox is like, oh, I'm gonna pay for Games Pass, and I'm just gonna be able to test everything I want to, but we don't actually know how many of those things are sticking. So, and here's a good thing here too to look at. A good model is like, is the physical game, or sorry, is the ecosystem of buying video games still more lucrative than having a service where people can just play them on Game Pass? You know, like I think we're quickly finding out which model works better. And I think if Sony felt like they were in danger of losing money to Xbox, that they would have the same kind of system in their PlayStation Plus that Xbox has, but they don't seem to need it.
Historians will look back on this generation and can't try to figure out what went wrong when Xbox has the better value program in Game Pass. It had at one time, leading into the beginning of this generation, it had the more effective, cost-effective consoles, yet somehow it managed to lose and lose heartily. And I don't know why. I just don't know what happened. The messaging, the branding, the fact that they're early on, their games were, the way they released them were pretty bad as far as what they were able to put out there. It seemed like one failure after the other. How they managed to mess this up, really. The praises that we were giving Phil Spencer in the last decade, we will not give in this decade, and I'll just leave it at that.
Let me ask you a question here, though. How much of this do you think is the price hikes, even, right, is based on people jumping ship off of Microsoft? Because there's been a lot of like bad will towards Microsoft for various reasons, but like a big one is the fact that they bought up all these game studios and they're shutting them down. So like a lot of these developers who worked on these games are, you know, they went over, they became part of the Microsoft team only to be let go of.
I think that has something to do with it. It's just something where, again, the Microsoft, the way it presents itself and the way it presented the products, it just it bites itself in the foot constantly, time in and time out, and it technically, on the surface, you should say, you looked at it on paper, you would say the best value at coming into this year by far and away was Xbox, but I can't say that now. And they raise the prices because they just don't care. If they're not going to sell that many, they might as well sell them now at a profit, if whatever the profit margin is. And because traditionally these console makers have sold these at a loss or at cost, or just a very slight profit at best. But now, in this day and age, I guess that they realize if they're not going to sell that many, they might as well just sell them at a higher price. But yeah, just truly disappointing to see what's gone on, because I still feel that the Xbox is a better console than the PlayStation 5, in my opinion. I still feel that Xbox Game Pass destroys anything that Nintendo and Sony does on a value basis. But again, seeing what we've seen and how they poorly marketed and poorly presented the whole package, I can't blame anybody for going somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, and also like if you look at like financially, you have to spread out that $20 a month or whatever has to be spread out into all the companies that have helped make these games. So how profitable? I mean, there's a whole other conversation we have on another episode, but how profitable truly is Game Pass?
Yeah, they talked about in the billions of dollars, but like you said, how much of those billions of dollars that they get from 30 million people roughly getting Game Pass,
Goes to
and
Microsoft.
yeah, how much does that actually go to Microsoft? So we'll see, my friend. But before we get to our discussion on our food chain through the Marvel Cinematic Universe or thereabouts, wanted to hear your thoughts on Tokyo Game Show. It has already come and gone. We talked about before what went on with the announcement of the prices for the Xbox handheld, which was a major talking point there. But between the Kojima Fest, the 2 hour plus update, I guess only Kojima can do this kind of things where he just puts something out there for hours to give essentially people an update of what he's doing with OD, which is exclusive for the Xbox. The game that's coming out for the PlayStation, but that's just still in a developmental stage. His movie, I believe, is based off the Death Stranding universe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Did you catch any of that? Because I'll tell you what, the game OD looks better than the movie. And is that supposed to be the way it's supposed to be? Because I thought the movie was supposed to look better than the video game. But
Well,
yeah, to me right now, it looks like OD is the game I want to actually, the thing from Kojima I'm actually interested in.
yeah, OD looks really cool. I mean, I still don't really understand enough about it to be like, oh, hey, yeah, I think everybody should play this game. But me personally, like it looks good. It looks like a typical Kojima game where I'm not going to understand anything about
No
it.
flying whales, though. That's the
No
thing I don't
flying
see.
whales. The Death Stranding movie is an interesting move because like he visually it just looks like a someone's turning the pages of a comic book. Like it looks very cartoony and with the deep black lines. It reminds me of the Linkin Park music video for Breaking the Habit. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of. But I mean, you think that you'd make some like beautiful CGI masterpiece if you're gonna go that direction, but Kojima's out of the box, man. He doesn't do what anybody expects him to do, and who knows, it could be good, but also like unless you've played the Death Stranding games, like a Death Stranding movie is going to make absolutely zero sense to anybody.
Forza Horizon 6 was announced, and that reason why it was announced there is because that the next game is going to go to Tokyo. So that'll be something interesting to see when it hits next year. Your thoughts on Forza Horizon 6 heading to Japan?
I'm excited. Like I love the Forza Horizon franchise. I love the ability to just go wherever I want to, not have any restrictions, go do these races. And like Forza, like interestingly enough, it does have a narrative that you follow throughout the game. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just a racing game. But no, there are things you can do, and it's the perfect game to just like sit there and play on a day where you don't have to think about anything. And like that's what I've always loved about the Forza games. But specifically Horizon, because you got that big old map. So I guess the big question here is where in Japan are they choosing to do this? Because as we know, there are multiple islands and cities that make up Japan. So what exactly where is this game going to take place?
Call of Duty is going to have some of the maps set in Japan or Japanese themed. 007 First Light cast the Eternals Gemma Chan as a side character named Dr. Selena Tan. I guess helping create some of the gadgets that you're going to be working with in the game. I wanted to ask your thoughts on 007 First Light. Did you get a chance to see the extended play video that came out a few weeks ago? It's something I'm interested in. It's something I would kind of like to be able to follow. It looks like more of a linear, Uncharted-like game from the makers of Hitman, who just, by the way, during Tokyo Game Show announced that the Hitman game that is already out is going to have added onto it a Bruce Lee as far as joining Hitman in the world of assassination. So, your thoughts on 007 First Light?
I mean, it looks like something that I would probably be interested in playing. I don't know at this point really what is going to set it apart from the other 007 games that have come out. I think everything right now is living in the shadow of GoldenEye, and they're still waiting for that like breakout game to come out and be its own thing. But looking at the success of Indiana Jones, like I think that if it's done properly and the enough care is given to the character and the story, there's a lot of potential to have a really great game on your hands. But at this point though, like we need to nobody really know until we play it.
Yeah, and all the games that were announced, as far as, or at least the add-ons, or at least things that were in place, from Double Dragon Revised Extra Mode to the Hotel Barcelona from Suda 51, to Fatal Frame 2, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake. Really a lot of good, interesting things that were added to Tokyo Game Show and what was announced. Age of Mythology, Heavenly Spear, Gungrave, Gore Blood. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming to PlayStation, and it's going to include a lot more Japanese locations, which is good. A lot of interesting things that are coming out. Again, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, as far as that's going to be headed to Xbox in November, so that's going to be interesting to see. But the overall Tokyo Game Show had its interesting parts of it. Ninja Gaiden 4, that was also mentioned as well. So yeah, a lot of interesting things were brought up. It is I guess, one of the most successful Tokyo Game Shows as far as attendance ever. So yeah, a lot of interesting things of note for both the Japanese audience, but also the rest of the world as well. So yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to come out that was announced at Tokyo Game Show, Josh.
Yeah, it's definitely the Tokyo Game Show is always an interesting one, and it seems like this year we have a lot of American developers making games centered around Japan. So I mean, which is not necessarily a bad thing, as that's always been like the market that Xbox has been trying to get into for a while. But it's I don't ever because like Tokyo Game Show comes like on the heels of we have the Summer Game Fest or whatever, and then we have the one in Germany. Which one? That's
Gamescom,
and then with Tokyo Games. So by the time Tokyo Games Show rolls around, like you don't see a lot of like like giant big announcements. You kind of see like more smaller low key things.
or if it's related to that marketplace, as far as either the games or add-ons, which we saw, which may not always be appealing to the rest of the world. But in fact, this year, I think there were a lot of things that people could take away from that gets people excited. So I'm glad to see that. I'm really glad to see that indeed. But before we get to our Marvel update, I wanted to ask, did you hear that Electronic Arts, in a $55 billion deal, is going private? Very interesting. They no longer want to stay a public entity.
I did not hear that, but why? Like, what's the game here?
I mean, I'm assuming that they just, as far as, want to be able to control their own destiny and not have to get shareholder feedback from it, and see how it goes from there. But interesting that they want to buy back all their shares from their shareholders and go private. So it was just interesting.
EA has been a floundering company for a really long time, though. I mean, it's just been one misstep after another. So maybe this is them recognizing an issue, or maybe this is them creating a whole new issue. We won't, I guess, only time will tell.
Where you can see the relative value as compared to Activision, because Activision was what, 80 something billion when it got sold or purchased by Microsoft in the 80s.
Yeah.
So you could see its relative value. I mean, still a very valuable company when you're $55 billion, but yeah, just interesting how that goes on. So
yeah.
What's going on with EA? Yeah.
Maybe
it's the new Mass Effect coming out. Yeah.
I honestly, like, and this is like, I pray that Mass Effect is a great game, but right now I have absolutely zero faith in anything coming out of EA. Like have botched so much. And I'm not necessarily talking about like the Dragon Age situation, but it's just like it's just been one after another. Every game except for Madden that has come out from EA has been an absolute disaster.
But they still make money off your ear with FC, their FC games. They still
FC
Madden.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
They're anything outside of the sports genre, they have just continued to drop the ball on at every possible turn.
But they still have those solid foundational pieces in Madden, FC 24, 25, S25 is around.
Imagine how much money they could make if they could just do correctly the other things.
Again, I think they would be a lot more than $55 billion. I agree with you on that. But remember the days when they were the number one entity in video games, but those games seem long ago. We'll see what happens though with Battlefield 6 because it's been looking pretty good. We'll see if that revives the EA brand. We'll see how that goes. But if you have any thoughts on the world of video games, Tokyo Game Show, or EA going private, or the Xbox handhelds, or the pricing of Xbox going up, please let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. So 9 minutes left, my friend. Wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts. We are now traveling to the world of Daredevil, a place I feared because I tried to block that out of my mind with the Daredevil Elektra movies of the early 2000s. But I guess now that Deadpool was so kind to go ahead and allow Jennifer Garner, a great actress, just got nothing but respect for her. But the Elektra movie was not electric, to say the least. But her part in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie has put in. Wolverine, by the way, was at TGS. They got to showcase that. We should have talked about that as well.
Yeah, that looks. It actually looks really good. I don't know what's going to happen with it's a linear story, so there's no open world element to it. So I'm curious, like exactly how the game's going to work. Because remember they tried that with Origins. Remember the X-Men Origins Wolverine game that came out way back when the 360 was popular, and it was like one of the most panned games of that year. So I don't know. It'll be really interesting. I got some high hopes. What about you though? You any interest in this one?
Looks good. Looks good. It could be just the thing that might actually get me to suck up and get a PlayStation, and I'll just say that. So I've been waiting for 5+ years now for to go ahead and find a reason. Wolverine may just be it, and TJ Johnson would love to hear that. So I'll just leave it at that because he's a Wolverine fanatic as well. But before we head out, again, Elektra, and of course Daredevil. Early Colin Farrell. This is not Colin Farrell's best take in the superhero movie universe. Obviously, his role in Penguin was much better than what he played in Daredevil. But your thoughts on Daredevil, man? Because it just, the less time I would like to spend on it, the better.
This one's weird because I absolutely agree. But this one's strange because it has a lot of tropes of like the 2000s, early 2000s movies. But it's not good, man. It's another one of those movies where the person who wrote it clearly has never read a Daredevil comic in their life. Like they knew absolutely nothing about the characters, so they just took all these like moments that they probably read about online or something and shoved it into a screenplay because like, oh, Spider-Man was successful, so let's see how this one does. I will say it had a pretty dang good soundtrack, but other than that, like the movie just was not good, like at all.
No.
There's nothing.
But it reminds me of what Fox did. I mean, with X-Men, you said Bryan Singer, he never read the X-Men comics before doing X-Men. So I mean, even the fight scenes you sit there and watch, because that's why a lot of people go to superhero movies to see the fights and the battles. But even those, like showing Ben Affleck, this is where the Netflix's Daredevil did it correctly, right? They don't show what they think Daredevil is seeing, right? They just show what is happening to Daredevil and a brief like shot of him turning his head to show that he can hear everything going on. There's just fighting. And this one, like that, even that opening scene where they go into the bar
and you're getting glimpses. The only way he can see things is if there's like, sound reverberating off things, and you get this fight scene that makes you feel like you're gonna have a fit of epilepsy by the time you're done watching it.
Yeah, it's just crazy right now. But Daredevil, I mean, you have to acknowledge it. It was part of my mind that I kind of put away, that I actually even entertained watching it. And then the Elektra movie was not much better. In fact, I don't think it was any better, which I thought did Jennifer Garner wrong. I think she deserved a lot better. But I'm glad to see that she got her shots in on both the Daredevil movies and also her ex-husband in
Yeah.
Wolverine and Deadpool on that. So that was great to see how they utilized her. She, and obviously they're both still successful today. Both, in fact, all of Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. Unfortunately, didn't get to see continuous success because he passed away. But it's good to see though that none of them really suffered through what the critical lack of success was. I mean, because Daredevil was a financial success, Elektra was less so, and then they're not well thought of movies. But I'm glad to see that they were able to. All three of them were able to overcome. Affleck, he became the Batfleck, and of course Colin Farrell, very very praised for his role in Penguin. One of his best performances I've ever seen him in. Just absolutely just fantastic. And Jennifer Garner, we still see every day, as far as pitching credit cards. So absolutely.
That's right. That's right. That's kind of ironic, huh? That both Affleck and Farrell ended up in Batman properties, but in different universes.
Very interesting indeed. No, are they in different? Yeah, they are in different. Yes, right, because he's the Pattinson Batman. So yes, absolutely. So absolutely. So yeah, it's been interesting. So we will see where the road takes us. But yes, you did mention. Can we get off of the Daredevil? Can we just move on?
We're on
What's next?
X-Men 2 is next.
Okay, X-Men 2. That's a better thought of movie that has lasted a little bit longer. So, all right, we're on to more favorable things. But if you have thoughts on Daredevil, we're gonna attach Elektra to it, and those movies again. It was a financial success. Daredevil was, but if you have thoughts on those movies, and I'm not sure if you'll have great ones looking back on it, but please let us know your thoughts. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Well, my friend, just a couple minutes left. It's been a great episode. Again, Ghosts of Yotei is coming up. We're heading into October, my friend. It looks to be video game wise. Movie wise, it's going to be solid. Streaming wise, it's going to be solid. But video game wise, it might be one of the most busy, active, and high profile months we've ever seen in video games.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, we're heading steadily into the holiday season. Like, this is what I always refer to as gaming season, because all like the big releases traditionally always came out in October, November. So definitely got a lot of things to look forward to. And we're gonna be talking about Black Friday again here soon, man. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. I love our Black Friday shows. I love our Black Friday updates. So please stay with us throughout the holiday season right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. Just looking forward to hearing some good conversation, and hopefully you will be part of what we're doing through the holiday season. Hopefully we get you through the holiday season right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. So for Josh the Great Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise right here in the Pop Culture Cosmos. We thank you for listening. And here's hoping you have yourself a great day.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Cosmos.